Hello everyone and welcome back to One Soccer. I am your host for today, Josh Deming, and we are back with another episode of our Canadians Abroad series where each and every week we keep you guys updated with all of your Canadians playing abroad. This week's update will be from May the 6th until May the 9th, and there's a lot to talk about, specifically around some league titles that have been won. So hopefully you guys are excited, and if you are, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, and let's get into the update now. Over the weekend, Alphonso Davies started for Bayern. He started as a left back in a 4-2-3-1 system, playing all 90 minutes. In the match, he had 121 touches on the ball. He had 15 recoveries, completed 85% of his passes, 4 interceptions, and he had 1 key pass as Bayern drew the match 2-2 against Stuttgart to sit top of the table with a 24-4-5 record. It was a really strong performance from Davies as he was heavily involved in the match. Bayern were still a little lackluster, having already won the title a few weeks ago. However, they did celebrate their 10th consecutive Bundesliga title in front of their home fans, and there were some really incredible scenes after the celebrations, as it's been now a couple years without being able to celebrate in front of supporters. Davies just continues to add titles to his resume at such a young age, and you gotta believe that there's gonna be more and more to come. Stefan Eustaquio was in action over the weekend as he started on the bench, but he was substituted into the match in the 87th minute to help Porto secure a 1-0 win over Benfica. With this result, Porto won the league title, and they did it with a match in hand. They have a record right now of 28-4-1 and 6 points ahead of Sporting. They brought the title back to Porto after missing out on it last season to Sporting, and the title celebrations were nothing short of incredible. Stefan Eustaquio wins his first piece of silverware with Porto this season, and he will have the opportunity to lift another trophy as Porto have a cup final fast approaching. This is why Stefan Eustaquio joined Porto. He wanted to play for the best in the country, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's probably hoping to earn a more significant role next season with Porto getting a lot more starts and more minutes, but regardless, he's a part of this squad and he's a part of this success, and is going to hopefully help develop him into an even better player. Grosso started on the bench over the weekend and was substituted into the match in the 74th minute to help Juventus see out a 3-1 win over Sassuolo. With that result, they sit top of the table with an 18-2-1 record, and they won their league title with 1 match to go as they are 5 points ahead of Roma. It was a well-deserved title, and Juve players absolutely loving it with some incredible scenes, so a big congratulations goes out to Grosso. Over the weekend, Jessie Fleming started on the bench for Chelsea and was substituted into the match on the 77th minute as Chelsea went on to win 4-2 over Manchester United to finish first place in the table with an 18-2-2 record, winning the league title after finishing just 1 point ahead of Arsenal. Amazing scenes as yet another Canadian celebrates a title in Europe this weekend. Jessie Fleming has really tried to nail down a starting spot for Chelsea. It's been very difficult to do so, but she's been an impactful player for this Chelsea side, whether it's starting or coming off the bench, and this is a very deserved title for her once again. Jonathan David got another start over the weekend, starting as a striker in a 4-4-2 system. He played 56 minutes in the match, had 26 touches, 1 shot, he completed 85% of his passes, and he had 2 key passes, as it ended up being another quiet night for David. Although Lille did perform better, specifically in that first half, however they did go on to lose the match 2-1 and now have a record of 13, 12, and 11 on 51 points, 10th place in the table. David's scoreless streak increases to 10 matches for Lille and 13 in all competitions. He scored just 1 goal in the last 19 matches, and it's being reported due to David's poor form that he could be forced into staying in Lille if no club is willing to pay his €50 million price tag. This is not the way Jonathan David wanted to end the season. He had such a hot start to it, and now he's really cooled off. He's got a couple of games left in this season to try to show what kind of form he can do, get his goal-scoring streak back on, and hopefully get some interest this summer. Tajon Buchanan was back in action over the weekend, starting and playing all 90 minutes as a right wing back in a 3-5-2 system. He completed 80% of his passes, he had 0 shots, 52 touches, 5 recoveries, and overall it was a bit of a quiet match for Tajon, as Club Brugge went on to win the match 2-0 against Union Saint Gilloise. It was a really impressive performance, and this brought them now to first place in the table with a 2-1-0 record on 43 points. They are tied on points with Union Saint Gilloise, and with this result, they are now sitting in a prime position as they take them on in the next match, which could be a match to potentially decide who's winning the title this season. At one point this season, Club Brugge looked like there was no chance they were going to be able to overcome this deficit, but they've plugged it away, they've gotten results, now they're sitting in a prime position, and Buchanan could be walking away with a little bit of silverware this season. It's taken some time, but over the weekend, Richie Laryea got his first start for Nottingham Forest as he started and played 77 minutes as a right wing back in a 3-4-1-2 system. Laryea completed 37 of 39 passes. He had 58 touches on the ball, 6 recoveries, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, and he drew 4 fouls. They went on to draw the match 1-1 to sit with a 23-11-12 record, and due to them dropping points, they've slipped to 4th place in the table, and they will have to take on Sheffield United in the playoff semifinals. It's been really nice to see Richie Laryea come off the bench in some really important matches, and it was a little bonus seeing him start this match here. He will more than likely start on the bench for the playoffs, but we will probably see him come off the bench as he has been known to be a bit of an impact sub. Junior Hoilett was in action over the weekend, starting as a left attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system. Hoilett played 78 minutes in the match. He had 50 touches, 2 key passes, 7 recoveries, and he completed 20 of 25 passes as Reading went on to lose the match 1-0 against Luton Town as they finished off the season in 21st place with a 13-8-25 record on 41 points. It was probably a season to forget for Reading. They had the point deductions, but they did avoid relegation, and that's all that really matters in the end. And on top of that, Junior Hoilett had a good season. He played a ton of minutes, and he should be in pretty good shape heading into next season, leading up to a World Cup year. Theo Corbeanu was back in the starting 11 over the weekend, and in a very important match, as Corbeanu started as a right wing in a 3-4-3 system, playing all 90 minutes, and looked very dangerous down the right-hand side. Theo had 5 shots in the match, 68 touches, he completed 30 of 38 passes, and he had 4 successful dribbles, helping MK Dons pick up an important 1-0 win in the second leg of the semi-final playoffs. Unfortunately, Wycombe won the first leg 2-0 and move on 2-1 on aggregate to head to the finals. It's a very bitter way to end the season for MK Dons after this spectacular run. And Theo Corbeanu finishes his first professional competitive season, playing half the season with Sheffield Wednesday and the other half with MK Dons. He's taking significant steps and will be looking for a call-up potentially for the upcoming Nations League. Ike Ugbo was involved in a challenging match over the weekend as he started and played 77 minutes as a striker in a 5-4-1 system. Ugbo had 19 touches in the match, completed 92% of his passes. He had 1 shot and he scored from that shot. As PSG gave the ball away, Ugbo took advantage, smashing home a ball. A very impressive finish past the outstretched Keylor Navas, bringing his goal tally to 5 goals in 12 matches since joining on loan. Toulon went on to draw the match 2-2, and it's a very impressive point away from home against PSG. Toulon sit 15th place in the table with a 9-10-17 record on 37 points, now 6 points off of 18th place St. Etienne, which is the final relegation playoff position. Ever since Ugbo committed to the Canadian men's national team, we haven't really been able to see him get that start and that run that we've been looking for, so maybe at the upcoming Nations League, we're going to see a little bit more of Ike Ugbo. Cyle Larin was back in action over the weekend as he came off a solid performance in the last match, which earned him a starting place. He played 75 minutes as a striker in a 3-4-1-2 system. Larin had 3 shots, 24 touches, he hit the woodwork, and he missed a big chance to score. Hutchinson was also substituted into this match in the 86th minute as Besiktas went on to draw Fenerbahce 1-1 to remain 7th place in the table with a 14-13-9 record. Playing in Europe next season looks very unlikely for Besiktas, but Cyle Larin will want to continue this form, hopefully finish the season on a high because he's going to be looking for a new club, and this next move could be very important for him leading up to this World Cup year. Samuel Adekugbe was in action over the weekend as he started and played all 90 minutes as a left back in a 4-2-3-1 system. Hatayspor went on to draw 1-1 against Trabzonspor. Adekugbe had 2 interceptions in the match, 6 recoveries, 58 touches. He completed 30 of 36 passes and got an assist after putting in a perfect driven cross for Diouf to tap home. It was another strong performance for Adekugbe and Hatayspor, as with this result they sit 11th place in the table with a 14-8-14 record. Shelina Zadorsky was back in action for Tottenham over the weekend. She started and played all 90 minutes as a center back in a 3-4-2-1 system. Zadorsky had 69 touches, 4 recoveries, 1 interception, and she completed 70% of her passes as Tottenham beat Leicester 1-0 to finish off their season in 5th place in the table with a 9-5-8 record on 32 points. Ashley Lawrence was back in action over the weekend as she started and played all 90 minutes as a right back in a 4-3-3 system. She had a really strong performance once again, and in that match as well, Jordan Huitema was substituted into the match on the 71st minute, and she scored a nice finish as well. It was her second goal of this season as PSG went on to win 5-1 against Bordeaux, keeping the title race alive as they sit in 2nd place in the table with a 17-2 2-1 record on 53 points. They are 5 points behind league leaders Lyon on 58 points. PSG take on Lyon in their next match, and they need to win that if they want any chance at winning the league title with 2 matches remaining. It was really positive to see Jordan Huitema come off the bench and score that goal. She's been a little hit or miss in the league, even though she was lights out in the Champions League, and hopefully next season she'll get a little bit more of an opportunity to start and continue this goal scoring form. Stefan Mitrovic was back in action over the weekend, and he started as a left mid in a 4-4-2 system, playing all 90 minutes as Raninski went on to lose the match 4-1 against Red Star. Mitrovic did score once again with a calm finish past Milan Borjan, a special moment for Steph. However, the result wasn't what he wanted, but he did get to double digits in scoring as it was his 10th goal of the season. He's got 2 goals now coming in the final round as Raninski sit 5th place in the championship group with an 11-15-9 record on 48 points. On the flip side of that result, Milan Borjan did start in goal for Red Star. He wasn't able to keep that clean sheet as fellow Canadian dual national Stefan Mitrovic made sure of that. However, they did go on to win that match 4-1 that keeps Red Star in first place in the championship group with a 34-1 record on 94 points. Partizan still remains second in the table with a 29-5-1 record on 92 points. And like we continue to talk about, it's going to go right down to the wire. But right now, the cards are in Red Star's hand. And if they can see out the remaining matches, they will be the champions. Scott Kennedy was back in action over the weekend as he started from the bench and was substituted in at halftime. He played 45 minutes as a center back in a 4-4-2 system. Kennedy completed 84% of his passes, had 37 touches on the ball, he had 5 recoveries, and he won all of the duels that he was involved in. It was a solid performance for Kennedy, but unfortunately Jan Regensburg went on to lose the match 2-0 and sit 13th place in the table with a 10-10-13 record. Deanne Rose started for Reading over the weekend. She started and played all 90 minutes as a dual cam in a 3-4-2-1 system. She had 2 shots, 24 touches, 4 recoveries, and she had 1 key pass as Reading went on to lose against Manchester City 4-0 to end off their season in 8th place in the table with a 7-4-11 record. Rose capped off a really impressive season for Reading as she's looking to keep developing and next season hopefully taking her game another step further. Simon Colyn started over the weekend and he started as a striker in a 4-2-3-1 system, playing all 90 minutes, having 37 touches. He completed 83% of his passes. He had 1 key pass, 3 shots, and he scored a goal. It was the only goal that was scored in the match for young PSV as they went on to draw 1-1 and sit 12th place in the table with an 11-11-16 record. Maxime Crepeau started in goal for LAFC over the weekend. He didn't make any saves in that match. He completed 21 of 25 passes. He was 6 for 10 on long balls. He had 33 touches in the match, and he allowed 2 goals as the Philadelphia Union had an XG of 1.12. LAFC went on to draw the match 2-2 against the Philadelphia Union to remain first place in the West with a 7-2-1 record, and they remain top of the league on 23 points. Dayne St. Clair started in goal for Minnesota United over the weekend. He had 30 touches, 11 recoveries. He made 5 saves with an expected XG of 1.97. Minnesota lost that match to Cincinnati 1-0, and they sit 7th in the West with a 4-2-4 record. St. Clair has been fantastic this season so far. He's been a real revelation for Minnesota United, and there's a good potential that he may get some looks in the upcoming Nations League, but he's definitely locking down that 3rd position and making sure that he's going to be on the flight to Qatar. Marc-Anthony Kaye was in action over the weekend, starting and playing 80 minutes as a CDM in a 4-2-3-1 system. Kaye completed 72% of his passes. He had 4 recoveries, 53 touches, 3 block shots, and 4 shots as Colorado went on to lose the match 1-0 to San Jose Earthquakes to sit 9th place in the West with a 3-3-4 record. This definitely wasn't one of Marc-Anthony Kaye's best matches this season as he's been a standout player for the Colorado Rapids. He's definitely got his eye on a potential starting role for Canada at the upcoming World Cup, especially with Hutch's age getting up there. He's looking to lock it down, and with performances like he's been giving, there's a good chance he can do that. Hopefully he can just keep it up with his consistency this season. Raheem Edwards started over the weekend, starting as a left back in a 4-2-3-1 system. He played 87 minutes in that match. He completed 21 of 33 passes. He had 54 touches, 2 recoveries, 1 successful dribble, 1 key pass, but he was relatively quiet compared to some of his other matches so far this season, as LA went on to win the match 1-0 against Austin to sit 3rd place in the West with a 6-1-3 record. Edwards is absolutely thriving under Greg Vanney so far. He's really made that left back position his own. He's got so much attacking freedom, and he's really just able to play the game he wants to play. There's even been remarks saying that if there was a team of the season so far, Raheem Edwards would be in it, which begs the question, will he get a potential look for the upcoming Nations League, or maybe even find a way to sneak into that potential World Cup spot? Tyler Pasher started once again for the Houston Dynamo over the weekend. He started and played 67 minutes as a left attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system. Pasher had 32 touches, he completed 10 of 15 passes, he had 2 shots as Houston went on to lose to DC United 2-0 to sit 8th place in the West with a 3-3-4 record. Pasher has played 8 out of 10 matches so far this season for the Houston Dynamo. He's definitely finding a little bit of form, and it's going to be very interesting to see if he's going to get a potential look at the upcoming Nations League squad. That's all we have on this week's edition of Canadians Abroad. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, because we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. So if you want to help us get our goal, dropping a sub will definitely do that. Also be sure to subscribe over to One Soccer for the best Canadian soccer coverage, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. We appreciate it, and until next time, take care and we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers, friends.